smell it.
This is how you raise your kids.
Oh,
Mullets and full-boost
I
t-shirts.
see you.
Come on.
No, I see you. No, I'm full-boost. I'm full-boost, man.
Jordan, it can't be bench talk without you crapping on for a solid 45 minutes about climate change, greenwashing, electric cars, the whole work, so it sounds like you better get into it. Across Europe, activists have been targeting Toyota and BMW in a billboard campaign calling for a fossil car ad ban.
So during the last couple of days, dozens of activists have organized themselves and they've been replacing car advertisements on billboards with artworks. This has been done for multiple billboards in the city of Brussels, as well as hundreds of bus stops.
So they've basically been going around putting up fake billboards in trains, on the actual big billboard signs. And so if you just glance at them, you think, oh, it looks real. These look unreal. If you read them, you're like, okay, I don't know why it says that, but you'd probably think, yeah, why would Toyota be putting that up? I reckon a lot of people would see that. They've installed 400 fake billboards in cities across Europe, calling on the government to introduce tobacco-style advertising bans on polluting petrol and diesel vehicles.
Murder, death, kill, murder.
I had a look at these billboards earlier, Jordan. I was pretty impressed, and my favourite one was the now ex-CEO Toyota bloke. What's his name again? Akira Toyota or something. Toyota or whatever his name is. Akira. Anyway, it's got him. I think this billboard. It's not a billboard. It's just a picture of. It looks like it's on a train, and he's got the full demon black eyes going. And all I'm thinking is this guy's about to get a visit by the Winchesters. So this first one, it says, "Let's ruin everything." I swear they got a picture of a RAV4 and just got someone's kindergarten artwork and just slapped it there. So pretty low points for creativity with that one, to be honest. Not impressed with that one. Yeah, that one was rubbish. Get to the one where I think it's a Land Cruiser driving over a cyclist. I'm not sure what that's got to do with anything. Toyota Land Cruiser, and then the byline is dominating life. It's got a woman with a pram. It's got a cyclist that's just been run over. I mean, well, clearly get off the road. I mean, what's the problem here? You got a guy in the corner who's he's doing this like he can't breathe. Clearly he's come from the dyno, that obviously some sort of methanol, maybe a rotary, some sort of methanol. Rotary for sure. Been on the dyno. I mean, you can't breathe. You can't not breathe if you go to a dyno with a rotary. That bloke, he's gassed out. He's had a gutful, can't handle the methanol. Look, there's a car on the corner here on fire. I mean, clearly this is another EV fire going on in the background. When are people going to learn? EVs do not catch fire like ice cars. Don't ever go there, Jordan. What is this woman with the pram doing? I can't work it out. It's like she's smiling. I don't know. Smiling that the guy's gone under the car. These ads have been very well received, Jordan. I saw there was some comedy gold comments in there. There's people praising these ads. My stomach turns every time I see an ice. Now let's just back it up. In the EV world, they refer to ice because internal combustion engine. So if I'm saying ice, we're not talking about the old pipe. My stomach turns every time I see an ice commercial and everyone in the car's smiling and laughing with total unawareness. What's about to happen, Luke? Is it Judgment Day?
I don't think science knows, actually.
The air we breathe is so toxic, and a Grim Reaper-style campaign needs to make this front of mind, as well as need to decarbonise.
Darling, is the wind blowing today? I'd like to watch television, darling.
This clown's just come in. If you want some full-boost merch, look at this little buddy. fullBOOST kids merch. Or you can get our new one. Check it out. If it ain't 100% legal, Jotto, it's 100% slow, yeah?
Oh, you can reach the padding.
This one's not happy about the old Yankee pickups. Those Ram monsters are horrific.
20 tons and 4 stories of car-crunching, fire-breathing, prehistoric insanity.
Huge monsters that shouldn't be allowed in cities. Not allowed in cities, Luke. Sounds like a great reset. You never see tradies actually using them to carry materials. Oh, really? The rear is always empty and usually one male driving them. So, what if he's a... Hang on. What if he's a trans woman? Did they just assume the gender of the driver? And their macho TV ad should be banned. Just ban everything I don't like. What's macho about it?
You told some of the biggest lies that I've ever heard of in my whole life.
So hang on, are you saying that a man's not allowed to drive the Ram, only a woman? Is that right? Look, these ads make me want to puke. Direct appeal to macho posers. Hang on, you're a macho poser if you're just driving a standard car that's not an EV. You're not allowed to drive, you are not allowed to drive a ute in Australia. You're killing the planet, come on.
The end to the human race as we know it.
I've mostly driven Toyotas myself and it was personally upsetting. So this guy just took it to heart. Look, maybe it was something else that was affecting that anyway. Personally upsetting to learn they were secretly the second worst funder of climate change propaganda. The VW Group and Toyota ads in recent years have been blatantly trying to rewrite history. Rewrite history? Just down the memory hole. Apparently the MGs don't suck. MG have gotten to the next level. What? What? This guy's a fan of the MG. Where'd this comment come from? I've just got on the wireless here. The main guy at Toyota doing the marketing, I believe his name's Winston. I hope the ABC's Gruen show, I mean this just firstly shows who's writing these comments, picks up on this and spreads the word given how far to the back of the pack Australia is in the space even without Toyota and BMW's help. Back of the pack of what? Saving the planet. Why don't you just donate all your money to climate change? That'll change your weather. What's the issue here? I've said this all along. When you can go and buy a ute for the same money, an electric ute for the same money that does everything that the ICE ute does, they'll sell them faster than they can build them. That's the reality of this situation. It's got nothing to do with climate change. It's all got to do with money. Here we are in 2023 and I swear there would be 1 million Kona EVs in the country if Hyundai could supply them. What? Why would there be 1 million Kona EVs? People have this deluded fact everyone wants an EV. Wasn't the number, I don't know, like in the top 10 cars sold a RAV4 hybrid? Wrong. I don't know if it was a hybrid model. Well, the RAV4 is one of the highest selling cars in Australia. It was a RAV4, but that doesnn't mean it's a hybrid. But then again, Luke, the way the news reports on things, if it's a hybrid, it's an EV, so that's 10%. One in 10. 1 in 10. 1 in 10 want EVs. 1 in 10 cars are electric. 1 in 10 cars sold in Australia are electric. Yeah, rightio. This year it'd be 20. This year, Jordo, it's 1 in 5 because it doubles every year. Remember? Like, back to the billboards. This one, when we test our emissions, the test dummy is you. Dying of fumes and just intoxication. Toyota's Beyond Zero means flogging gas guzzlers for decades to come. I don't know about Toyota hybrids being gas guzzlers. I wouldn't exactly just put them in that category, but anyway. These guys, these EV owners should try owning some 90s JDM cars, because if you want to get fumed out, back one of those into your garage. It's a full Chernobyl meltdown in there for about 30 minutes.
I apologise.
Now, Luke, you know how much I love my new car sales. We did a video recently about the 2022, like the entire year sales and how Toyota dominated. Already I've seen the news, the results of the January sales, and this is why we don't really pay any attention month to month because they're so skewed and don't mean a lot. The sales figures came out, and of course, a Ford Ranger was number 1. That's not surprising. But all the media, their little love child, their darling, a Tesla. The Tesla was the 3rd most sold car in January. But if you look into it, most, if not all of these sales happened last year, but the cars get delivered in January. So say it's 3,000 cars, and you touched on this in the last video, Luke. They all get... We went over this already. And all of a sudden, oh, the news, Tesla, 3rd most popular car in January, kickstart off the year. Everyone's buying Teslas, and you go, no, that doesn't really work like that. This is why you don't take the figures that seriously. And the other thing they are pushing on too, the even bigger story, Tesla, the number 1 sedan, outsold Toyota Camry. Headlines everywhere, right? And my first thought was, number 1 sedan? Who's buying sedans? Who even makes sedans anymore? Everyone's buying SUVs and utes. Jordan, I drive a sedan. Yeah, I've got a sedan in the garage, but
Say that again.
that's we're talking about new car sales here, Luke. Actually, what I'm on about.
Mine's a new car.
I've scrubbed the WRX from memory. Such a eyesore.
Yeah, but you've got to admit, I drive a sedan, but it's probably one of 13 sales of WRXs this year.
The spin continues about the sedans and Tesla ruling the roost. So I did a little digging, as usual. Like as an example, the sedan category last year, out of 1,080,000 cars sold across Australia total, sedans made up 38,000 cars. So the category's nothing.
38,000
Total.
out of 1 million.
Yes.
Total.
So when they run around and go, oh, the Tesla outsold the Camry, it's like, well, yeah, it's not really
Huge. It's a bit of a Donald Trump huge moment right there.
And in the last video too, when we talked about how Toyota were dominating, and people were like, oh yeah, it's because of all the fleet sales. And even MG came 7th, which was pretty horrifying. And that was because of all the fleet sales and hire cars and all that.
Listen up, everybody. I have some news.
Well, it just gets worse because then I found an article about the private car sales. So obviously this is a smaller proportion of the new car sales. It rearranged the top 10 a fair bit, and MG, to my horror, was the 3rd most popular car in private car sales. 3rd most popular brand. We thought they were doing well at 7th, 3rd.
It doesn't surprise me. I'm telling you, they're just they're everywhere.
Oh, look, cockroach. I see them all. I see them everywhere. Every small model. They've got a few different models out. It just shows you though, people are buying purely on price, not quality.
Oh. Hey, are you doubting the quality of the MG?
Well, actually, I booked a hire car next month. Another MG. I'll do a review on it.
Please, no!
Maybe let's hope the buttons work in that one.
That's nothing!
Jordan, just enough of you EV talk. Actually, I'll talk some EV stats. I saw an article the other day saying there's been more electric cars sold in Australia than manual cars. What on earth stat is that?
Considering how many cars can you buy in a manual? But what does that even...
No one wants manuals.
What does that even mean?
People want dual cab utes and SUVs. That makes up, I don't know, about 70% of sales, yeah?
In the private car sales, it had the top 20 cars. It was all just, like I think a CX-5, Mazda CX-5, I think was the actual number one car.
CX-5.
But it was all that kind of car. SUVs, small ones, raised ones that kind of are half vans that are car. And then you look at it and go, there's not one model that even remotely obviously resembles, but you don't expect a performance car to be anywhere near the top.
The Corolla and the RAV4.
Yeah, but you wonder why, you know, if you're after a performance car, obviously it's just dwindling what you can buy these days, especially if you're after a manual. And that's why you ended up with a WRX, Luke. That's the worst looking car in history, apparently.
No, it's just, it doesn't have the rumble of previous WRXs, Jordan, because if you drive an old WRX, they all come with a 3-inch straight through exhaust.
Luke, your WRX is getting great reviews. A great car if you're Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder. A face only a mother could love. Subaru technically improved the WRX, but beat it so hard with the ugly stick, nobody with any aesthetic automotive sense can stand to look at it. In fact, the WRX has to go down in history as the great ruination, is that even a word? Of an automotive...
Ruination.
Of an automotive icon
Ruination.
in the history of the automobile. It's like the Subaru board of directors were passing around the crack pipe when looking at the WRX design proposals. Throwing more money at it to try and band-aid its hideous appearance, that is like climbing Mount Everest in Bermuda shorts and barefoot. Foos could fix it, he's referring to Chip Foos, isn't he? But would cost $30K, and why not buy a BMW MK you can drive out of the showroom?
Jordan. Don't worry about the WRXs. What you want to get is our new street car shirt. If it ain't 100% street legal, actually I've already forgotten. What is it? I can't even read it.
It's 100% slow.
Anyway, shop.fullboost.com. Get them while they're hot.